Okay, these gateways in the western part of the Americas versus the eastern part of the Americas proceed along the 33rd parallel. In Indian Masonry, the 33rd degree is a very important degree. There's like 33rd degrees in Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Scottish Rite Masonry, by the way, was first written, the degrees were written by a man named Albert Pike, and he actually wrote these degrees while he was living on Choctaw land. And one of the first 33rd degree Masons that Pike personally made a 33rd degree Mason was Peter Pitchlynn, who was chief of the Choctaws at the time that he was writing his degrees on Choctaw land. He also gave the eulogy at Pitchlynn's funeral in Washington, D.C. in 1881. Pike subsequently was the legal representative against the United States government on behalf of the Choctaw Nation for the lands that the United States government had pretty much illegally disenfranchised the Choctaws of. Choctaws were one of 12 different Gulf tribes that were the kings of the Mississippi Valley. Choctaws were one of the preeminent ones, perhaps the preeminent tribe that represented the kings of the Mississippi Valley. The Mississippi Valley is the longest river running north and south, by the way, in the Western Hemisphere. The longest river running north and south in conjunction with the great river in the sky, the Milky Way, which also runs north and south, is the Nile Valley. Just like there were kings of the Mississippi Valley who built these great mound centers, there were kings of the Nile Valley that built the great pyramid centers. And I'll tell you how this Eastern Hemisphere and Western Hemisphere interaction took place in sermons in the near future. Now, getting back to this Western Gateway versus the Eastern Gateway along the 33rd degree parallel, why the 33rd degree parallel was so important is if you proceed north of that parallel, you can no longer perceive the heart of the dog. The dog is the guardian of that gateway, that Milky Way galaxy in the sky, through the star Sirius and the star Canopus. The star Sirius is the head of the dog. The star Canopus is the heart of the dog. If you proceed above 33 degrees, you can no longer perceive with your five senses the heart of the dog. That's why Europe, which lies above the 33rd degree parallel, is primarily intellectual and has repressed the heart center, the heart of the dog. It was very easy for them to do so because they cannot perceive it proceeding above that degree. That's why this 33rd degree is so important in not only Scottish Rite Masonry and Indian Masonry, but in Native American lore in general. And that's why they built their great monuments, Nunnikwaya, Watson Breaks, Poverty Point, all built about 5,000 years ago on the 33rd degree parallel. Now I'm going to tell you a lot more about this as we proceed up into those mountains in the near future, where there are many sacred spots that ring Santa Monica Bay, these Santa Monica Mountains. For now, Nitak Valia, Nanaya Hoshish no escape. May you walk in peace until the day that you last forever.